Hi to my magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tarot and welcome to the channel. In today's reading we're going to be taking a look at what makes people fall in love with you. So please be aware this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and show you your crystals now. So for pile number 1, we have this blue lace agate crystal. Excuse the kids in the background if you can hear them. We have for pile number 2 this honey calcite crystal. And for pile number 3 we have Carnelian. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you are most drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one pile, you can pick 2 or all of them. Your intuition will always know best. If you are done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, then I will see you at your reading. Hi to my pile number 1s. If you chose this blue lace agate crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what makes people fall in love with you. So please be aware this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave the rest. You chose the Mami Wata card. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Please correct me in the comments if I am pronouncing it wrong. Let's go ahead and add your cards for you. Okay, so the first card we have is the Courageous Peony. Excuse me if you can hear the kids in the background playing. It says here, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Next we have the 10 of Cups. Next we have the Temperance card. Next we have the King of Wands. Next we have the Empress. Next we have the Judgment card. Next we have the Temperance card, again right under this one. Is that not a synchronicity? I've never had that before, 2 of the same cards under each other. Next we have the 6 of Wands. Next we have the Magician. That's beautiful. Okay, my pile number 1s. Now that we have your cards laid out, I see exactly what makes people fall in love with you. So firstly, I want to speak about the Mami Wata card, and she is also known as La Siren in Caribbean folklore, but she's also from African folklore where she is a ancient mermaid goddess. Okay. So it is said that she captures or allures people and takes them onto a cosmic journey in the watery realm. And there are many different stories about her as a ancient water goddess. Some stories are a little bit terrifying, whereas other stories are really beautiful. So there is this duality to her, and I think, I've read up on her before and watched some YouTube videos on her before. So I've kind of have a little bit of knowledge on her, but the energy I feel from her is she has this duality to her. She can either be seen as your most beautiful, wildest dreams, and she can also be seen as, I wouldn't say a nightmare, but if you were to disrespect her in any way, and specifically go out and look for her and disrespect her in any way, then yes. Okay. We even see crocodiles on the card. Crocodiles to me are like that symbol of protection. So she doesn't mind protecting herself if need be. Okay. And since she captures and allures people in, there's this energy to you, my pile number ones, where you are really alluring, you are really captivating. I mean, we even see that in the Temperance card. Like, look at her stocking here. She just opens her leg out, and she just looks really captivating, like she draws you in. But then in this Temperance card, there's also this angelic presence. So there is this angelic but also sexy and alluring presence to you, my pile number ones. There is this duality to you. Like, I'll be your biggest nightmare if you disrespect me, but I can also be your biggest dream and lure you in and take you on a cosmic journey. That's the kind of energy I feel from you, my pile number ones, which is why people fall in love with you. So if her captives survive and come back, there's lots of stories about her. Some say that she captures children and not to go to rivers in those parts of the world where she is. Not to go to rivers at night is some stories I heard. And not to go alone, if I'm not mistaken. If I am wrong about any of these things, please correct me in the comments, because I don't want to spread misinformation. But I'm also just reading this intuitively and based off what I already know about her. So if they do survive, her captives are said to become wealthier and more attractive upon return, but they are also said to come back with magical abilities, healing abilities, these psychic abilities. Whereas other times I've also heard stories where her captives come back and they can't speak about her. And if they do speak about her, there are some sort of consequence to that. And so I've also heard stories where some of her captives come back with no voice, but then they come back with healing gifts, healing abilities, being more attractive, being wealthier, having psychic gifts. I guess it just depends on the person. But maybe there is the sense to you, my pal number ones, where if people disrespect you, like I said, after being in a connection with you, or being with you for a day, being with you for a few months, being with you for a few years, after you luring them in with your alluring energy and taking them on a cosmic journey, they can either come back like a little bit, what's the word? You know how I said some of them come back, some of her captives come back with no voice? Maybe some people come back and they almost feel like speechless, if I had to put it according to the context of this reading of what makes people fall in love with you. Perhaps you make people so speechless, and it's like they don't want to talk to anyone else after you two start dating and maybe break up, if they were to ever leave, or if you were ever to let them go. I've also heard some stories that people are captured by her and never come back. So there may also be this energy to you, my pal number ones, where you capture and allure people in, and they never want to go back home, or maybe they never ever go back because they're just put under your, would I say, spell of beauty? Okay, my pal number ones. But I don't feel like it's just beauty to you. I feel like you just have this alluring quality to you where you captivate people in, lure people in, like a beautiful mermaid, like a beautiful siren. This must be my pile of beautiful mermaids, mermaidy energy. Perhaps some of you have mermaid energy where maybe you lure people in like a siren, or maybe you're just really like, if I'm thinking they're showing me H2O and Cleo and those three girls swimming together, having fun swimming together. Maybe you're just a really playful person that loves to be around the ocean, loves to be around water, but is also really alluring. I guess take it as it resonates, my pal number ones. Okay, but I also know that she can grant people wishes, I think. So she's known to communicate with her devotees in dreams. Oh, and instruct them of her wishes. So I just have a page here open that I'm also just looking at to make sure my information is right. So I feel like, people, they're saying here her priests dance to enter a trance state during which the goddess communicates through them. Ecstatic dance often forms part of her worship. Funny thing is, we see kids dancing here. So maybe there's some part of you that is really playful and fun, like maybe some of you love to dance, or maybe some of you just have bodies that look good, that look like you could dance, if that makes sense, even if you don't dance. Like, if I had to explain it, I've seen some people and they have really good looking bodies and it looks like they know how to dance even if they don't. Just by the way they move their body. Okay, perhaps you allure people in, that you even show up in their dreams. Maybe you have this dreamy quality to you as well that makes people fall in love with you. With this Temperance card, we have an angel here. So we also have a mermaid. Something about you could be really ethereal, really dreamy. Okay, my pal number ones, which makes people fall in love with you. And I also feel like you have this energy of naughty and nice with the Temperance card here and the Temperance card here. They're both Temperance cards, but they look completely different. Okay? There's this energy to you, my pal number ones. You just lure people in. You're really alluring. You really captivate people. And it's almost like, I wouldn't say you kidnap people because that's just wrong, but maybe you just captivate people in, like, these stories of her. She is someone that lures people in and captures them in some type of way. Maybe there's this energy to you where even people that aren't really necessarily open to relationships, they just fall under your under your spell, and not necessarily a physical, literal spell, but I just mean the energy of you being so alluring. It's just like they fall in love instantly, that now they want to be in a connection with you. And there's this energy of like people almost becoming hypnotized by you, captivated by you, that they may even like be so in love with you. And there's this energy of them being in love with you at first sight, even, where they just want a relationship with you, even if that's not necessarily something they want in general. And you may notice people become so in love with you so fast. It's like that love at first sight energy, and then you feel almost like are you in it for the long run, or are you just what's the word? Yeah, the word I wanted to use was infatuated. Are you in love with me for the long run, or are you just infatuated by my presence, by my alluring qualities? That's the energy I feel you give people, where they fall in love with you instantly, even if that's not something they really want to do. Even look at this Judgment card. It almost looks like these people are just floating up in the air. That's the way you make people feel, like they're just floating around and they're being drawn to you. Okay, my pal number ones. Another reason I feel people fall in love with you is, like I mentioned, that protective quality you have. You have this don't F with me vibe going on, and I love that for you, but that actually makes people fall even more in love with you, because you're real, you're upfront, you're straight with them, and you can stand up for yourself. I just heard the word spicy. Okay, so perhaps people find that spicy or really attractive when you speak up for yourself, and when you're like, hey, don't treat me like that, or else I'll bite your head off. That kind of energy, not literally, but that kind of energy. So she is also someone that influences emotions and gifts her followers with clairvoyance and healing powers. So perhaps you are someone that is very in touch with your emotions. I mean, even the fact that we have the Temperance card showing up twice, the Temperance card to me also represents that energy of balancing the emotions out, healing energies as well. I find sometimes it can mean healing energies. And perhaps you do have this energy to you where you are like that, and maybe you also have healing energy to you. And maybe you are also really intuitive, where you can lure people in, but you're also intuitive enough to know which partners are good for you long term here with the 10 of Cups and which aren't. It's like Spirit speaks to you with the Judgment card. I mean, look at this person here. Some of you may have clairvoyance, some of you may have clairaudience, or some of you just may be very intuitive, okay? And, I also feel like you have a lot of healing energies that people just fall in love with. There's something about you, my pal number ones, where people get to know you and you bring out all the emotions in them as well, since you have all this healing energy. And you're not ashamed of your emotions. I feel like your emotion is your superpower, and you being emotionally vulnerable around the people that you are interested in, because when we're dating someone, we want to have a partner that's long-term life partner. Most of us, maybe not all of us, but some of us want life partners, you know what I mean? So there's this energy to you where you are vulnerable with the people that you start dating. Even if it's not something you want long term, there's this energy to you where you're not afraid to show your emotion. And that is something that people really fall in love with, because there's this vulnerability to you. I mean, this card says naked. There's this energy to you where people see the real you, and it's not like you wear a mask to cover up your true self. The real you shines through. And I feel like you just have a lot of courage to be vulnerable in your emotions, and the people you date start feeling like they can also open up to their emotions, which is a quality people fall in love with, because I feel like after they start dating you, they almost start to have this healing energy as well, because they also get in touch with their emotions and their healing energies within to heal themselves, because they feel like since you are so in touch with this healing energy, you've healed yourself in some way, or you are on the healing journey in some way, whether you know it or not. And I feel like people need to level up to be with you, you know what I mean? We have the Empress here, so a lot of you have this divine masculine, King of Wands, and divine feminine energy to you, where you really want people to be on your level to date them. And that there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like you don't want to outgrow the person you're dating, and they need to be leveling up with you. You know what I mean, my pal number ones? So there's that energy to you where they have to almost catch up to your energy. Another thing I am noticing within these cards, my pal number ones, we have so many flowers here. We have a beautiful, courageous peony opening up here. We have flowers here, flowers here, flowers here. We have a beautiful garden here, flowers here, and these flowers that are almost dying, okay? But I feel like if I had to take this in context to this, it's like you water the flowers that almost die. And what I mean by this, in terms of what makes people fall in love with you, there's this energy of like, let's say the flower is representing us as people. Okay, and a flower blooming represents us blooming as a person. And that goes with the healing energy I mentioned. So I feel like you have this energy to you, my pal number ones. Since she's holding so much water here, and there's dead flowers here, I feel like you'd pour water onto these dead flowers, and there's this energy to you why people fall in love with you. It's because also like when they get to know you as a person, if they come to you and they're feeling really just low within themselves, really just hopeless, not really doing well, okay, emotionally, I feel like you just pour into them in a beautiful, beautiful way that revives their spirit, that makes them feel like they can go from this energy to this energy, to feeling happy again, to feeling like they can dance and have fun again, to feeling happy. We even have a rainbow here. So you pour into people that you really care for, and that is another reason people fall in love with you, because they're showing me, you know, in video games where you get like let's say it's a fighting video game and your life level goes down, and then you drink like some sort of potion that revives your energy. I feel like you do that to people in some type of way that makes people fall in love with you, my pal number ones. And you know, with the courageous peony, I feel like you are really courageous to showing the parts of yourself that really shine through, that are really mesmerizing and captivating, and it takes a lot of courage to let yourself be seen. But that is another reason people fall in love with you, because you are so unique and multifaceted, and you're not okay. I mean, You're not someone that hides your true self. You're someone that is truly vulnerable with showing your true self. And it takes a lot of strength and courage to feel safe enough to show our true selves without feeling like we're going to be judged in some way. So that is another reason people fall in love with you, my pal number ones. You even chose the heart blue lace agate, which actually represents healing energy. It heals traumas, this stone, so that's actually very cool. And you know, in this Empress card, I feel a lot of you just attract partners in. You manifest partners really easily since it's opposite the Magician. There's this magic to you that captivates and lures people in, and it's not necessarily one specific thing that makes people fall in love with you. It's many different things. It's your vibe. It's you as a whole. It's not one thing I can specifically mention, but I just feel like you have this very alluring presence. Like you just draw people in. You draw lots of partners in. You know, the Empress energy deals with the energy of femininity, receiving, you know, it also deals with the energy of abundance. So you attract in partners abundantly, like there's a whole river of partners flowing through to you, and you get to pick and choose which ones you want. And another reason people fall in love with you is because you are really confident in yourself. You love yourself so deeply. You have this abundant nature to you, and not just abundant in money, abundant in smiles, abundance in laughter, abundance in beauty, handsomeness, abundance in this pleasurable energy, abundance in confidence, courage, letting yourself be seen, emotional vulnerability, healing energy. You're just a full person, a full and rounded person that has a lot of beautiful qualities to you that shine out, my pal number ones. That makes people fall in love with you. And I just feel like some of you have this naturally seductive energy, is what I'm hearing. But also I feel like there's something about you, my pal number ones. You're really passionate about the things you love, about your talents, about your hobbies, the things you love to do, your careers, about gaining success here with the Six of Wands in the things you love to do. And you know, when you talk about it, there's this essence of people falling in love and really admiring that, and really just watching you talk about the things you love to do, what you love as a person, who you are, and you just being your true self. It's like people fall in love with that because you are emotionally vulnerable with showing your true self, and that takes a lot of courage. There's also this energy to you, why people fall in love with you. Like I mentioned, you are someone that is really beautiful, handsome. Someone that is really courageous by showing the deepest parts of themselves. You have this star quality that shines out. I mean, we see all these stars here, and stars here. You are someone that lures people in. Not just with your beauty or handsomeness, but with your essence, your quality. You have this ethereal presence to you. And there's this energy to you that you just make people fall in love with you by luring them in and captivating them. You also have this very beautiful healing energy to the people you meet. You're also a really balanced and well-rounded person that makes people fall in love with you. You also are very intuitive, and you also are very unique in your own beautiful way, and that makes people fall in love with you. And like I mentioned, you make people fall in love with you where they want something serious with you. Here with the 10 of Cups, they want to all of a sudden get married, buy you a house, have kids with you. I feel like you have this energy to you of receiving. People want to give to you and pour into you just the way you pour into them. And it makes them fall even more in love with you when you receive it with a smile on your face. People just really love giving to you is what I just heard. Okay, my pile number 1. So that was your reading of what makes people fall in love with you. I really hope this resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Lastly, I'd like to thank all my new subscribers. I'd like to thank all of you for all the support you've given me over the last few months. It's really incredible and I really appreciate it. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose this honey calcite crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look into what makes people fall in love with you. So please be aware this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And let's get started with your reading. So you chose the card Tanit. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, please correct me down in the comments. Let's go ahead and add your cards for you. Okay, so the first card we have here is Child of the Cosmos. It says here, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. Next we have the Emperor. Next we have the Hierophant. Next we have the Chariot. Next we have the Lover's card. Next we have the Star card. Really interesting because we have stars, the star, stars. And here we also have stars. Is that not beautiful? Next we have the Sun card. Next we have the Lovers again. Really interesting. And lastly we have the Hierophant again. So the Lover showed up twice, as well as the Hierophant, showing me that the energy is more amplified. Okay, my pile number 2s. Now that we have your cards laid out, I see exactly what makes people fall in love with you. So firstly, I want to speak about the card Tanit we have here. The first thing I am noticing within this card is all these stars here. And we also have the Star card with a bunch of stars on top here. So this tells me the first reason why people fall so madly in love with you, my pile number 2s, is because you have the star quality to you. You shine brightly in whatever you do. I feel like some of you are creative with the Sun card, or you love to just explore those parts of you, those passionate sides to you. And creativity doesn't just have to be arts. It doesn't just have to be painting, singing, dancing, those kind of energies. It could also be acting. This kind of set up here in this card with all these stars and the clouds behind her, kind of reminds me of my days in high school when I did drama and I did like plays and things like that where they had those background things. So some of you could really be into those things or could really have that quality to you where you look like you could be a model, where you look like you could be an actress or someone or an actor or someone that's like on stage performing something, or someone that could be in the public eye. You have the star quality to you. Perhaps you just look so vibrant and beautiful and you shine so brightly that perhaps sometimes people even say to you, you look like a celebrity. And I just noticed this lady here is even wearing stars. So there is this energy to you, my pal number 2s. You are seen as someone that has this beautiful star quality to you, someone that shines out, where your talents really shine out, okay? Some of you could really be into dancing or could really just look like you have bodies that would dance well, or bodies that could, be on magazines, that kind of energy, because we see her dancing here. Or maybe your body is just really, really sexy, because even this goddess that we're speaking about on this card is a symbol of fertility. So perhaps you just have this really seductive body where people just want to undress you and you just give off this energy of pleasure and seduction in some type of way. Okay. Another thing is, this goddess, she is still to this day celebrated in Ibiza. So she was a goddess of the stars in ancient Carthage. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And today, all the way over in Ibiza, they still have a lot of pleasure-filled full moon midnight table dancing parties in her name. She's such a goddess of pleasure. She's a goddess where people dance for her, where people have pleasure. This is kind of reminding me of, they're showing me that episode of Sabrina, if you've ever watched the series, where they have that Lupercalia festival and they're all encouraged to have a pleasurable night and find a partner to spend the night with and drink wine and those kind of fun activities. It's reminding me of that energy. I can't really remember what happened in that episode, but since this is giving me this energy, perhaps also you have the star quality to you. You shine out brightly, which is why people fall in love with you. And she is literally the goddess of the stars, but also the goddess of pleasure. So you make people fall in love with you because you shine so much, because you have so many talents, so many star qualities to you that just shine out. So many, not just star qualities, but your beauty shines out, your aura shines. You shine when you do the things you love. You shine when you do the things that make you happy. And there's something about you, my pal number 2s, that is just so, you make people fall in love with you because you shine so much. Because you look like someone that is just like a star. So beautiful and bright, okay? Bright is the energies I'm getting with the sun and the star next to each other. And I feel like you also, the reason why people fall in love with you is because you look like a very pleasurable person. And not just pleasure in a sensual way. Also pleasure in a happy, fun way with the sun card. You know how to laugh, you know how to enjoy, you know how to have fun. And pleasure just doesn't have to just be, in the bedroom, that could also be a reason why people fall in love with you. Maybe you just are really sexy and you draw people in like that. Okay, but also you know how to have fun and pleasure in other ways. You could really be people that take pleasure in having food, enjoying the simple moments of life, romanticizing your life. Perhaps you're someone that enjoys music. Perhaps you're someone that isn't afraid to dance and have fun. And if all of these things don't resonate, it's okay, but there's something about you that is really pleasurable and fun to be around. People feel like they can connect to that laughter side of them, that smiley side of them. Perhaps you are someone that is really funny and you induce pleasure in people by making them laugh. Perhaps you're really fun to go to like festivals and parties with, and people fall in love with you because of that. Not just lovers, but also like friends. They fall in love with having pleasurable moments with you. And pleasure is your birthright, given to you as a gift from the universe. And I feel like you give that to others. You induce that energy into others. And you know, some of us sometimes secretly feel we don't deserve pleasure, but it's actually so healing and it's so joyous. And you know, we all deserve to have a life full of joy and pleasure. You chose the honey calcite crystal, which is literally that energy. It's the solar plexus energy. It's the energy of the traits in us that truly shine out, the energies of creativity, of joy. Okay, so believe that you are worthy of joy and watch yourself attract even more partners. Okay, so yeah, my pile number twos, you are just this amazing person. You make people feel in touch with that side of them. You make people feel like they can just laugh and have fun again, especially, you know, people that are shy, people that, like, let's say someone comes up to you and becomes your friend and they're really shy and you two got out together. I feel like you bring out that energy into them where they can be confident and enjoy and not worry about what other people are thinking, what other people are looking. Maybe you also have the star quality, like perhaps you are really talented at some things. Maybe you're really good at bringing that out in other people as well. Like, let's just use dance, for example, as we see her dancing here. Let's say you're really good at dancing, for example, and you teach your friends how to dance. Okay, that's like an example. Yeah, I just feel that energy. That's what makes people fall in love with you, because you bring out that pleasurable, joyful side of them. And I feel like people also feel really attracted to you. You're really sexy and alluring, but you also really stand out and shine. Okay, my pal number twos. So that is why people fall in love with you. That is the first and second reason. So Tanit was a goddess. She had a connection to the heavens, apparently. I don't know much about her. I just tried to research some things before I did this reading. Apparently she was also a mother goddess, and she connects to the energy of fertility. Okay. So perhaps some of you also have this nurturing energy to you that people fall in love with, and if you're a woman, you have this sexy energy to you where people want to have pleasurable moments with you. Also, like, people really fantasize about you. I'm not going to go too in detail about that because this is not an 18 plus reading, but I do have a reading up on my page of what people fantasize about you. But people want to have a pleasurable night full of fun with you. The imagery they're giving me is people love to spoil you, and like, if they had a pleasurable night with you, it wouldn't just be ordinary. It would be like fireworks everywhere. They're showing me in Sims when you click woohoo and it's just like fireworks everywhere. That's the energy they're making me feel, like champagne, them feeding you grapes or fruits and things like that, and just spoiling you, giving you a massage beforehand, making you feel pleasure first. So I'm not going to go too much in detail, but yeah, that's what I'm going to say. That's another thing that makes people fall in love with you. And you have this energy. Some of you have really sexy bodies. Like, if you're a woman, people just want to put a baby in you. Okay. Another reason why people fall in love with you. So she's not only a goddess of stars, but she's also a goddess of like the moon and the stars. We also see a moon here, and the child of the cosmos. So that is a really interesting synchronicity, because it says the intelligence of the universe lies within you. So I feel another reason why people fall in love with you is you have this really feminine energy to you, even if you're a man, where you connect strongly to intuition, to the lunar energies of intuition, emotion, deep intuition and connection to source. The moon is a sign of constant change. So maybe as well you're a person that is someone that is constantly changing your look, constantly changing yourself, transforming as a person, with the Hierophant showing up twice. I just feel like your energy is potent and powerful, and there's this energy to you where you're just really intuitive, you're really connected to your intuition, and that makes people fall in love with you. And like the moon has different phases. You may not always be this light and bubbly self of yours. You may have days where you're hermit mode, and that is also another reason why people fall in love with you, because you're not always the same. They're showing me a TikTok I watched today where it was like something along the lines of the lady was like dyeing her hair every month. So she was like, if you're my boyfriend, you would get a different version of me every month. You'd be lucky. So there's that energy to you. Perhaps you change your style a lot. Perhaps you change as a person all the time. You're ever growing and changing. Perhaps you change the way you do your makeup. Perhaps you actually change your hair color, or your hairstyles. You are someone that is ever changing, and this brings excitement to you, where it's like, which person am I getting today? Like that kind of energy, which brings out excitement in people, which actually makes people fall in love with you even more. And I also feel like the reason why people fall in love with you, when I said you're intuitive, with the Hierophant showing up twice here, you're also a really wise person, which makes people fall in love with you. You have this presence to you, even though you have this energy of pleasure to you. You have this energy where you lift people up with the way you speak to them. Perhaps you intuitively just pick up on things without realizing for people, or say things to people without realizing you're saying it for them from spirit. And there's this energy to you where you just say things that people really need to hear, but you also lift people up. You lift people's spirits with the words you use. You sound really happy when you speak. Something about your smile, your laughter, it's just so infectious, and it brings people up in a way. And also here in the Hierophant, the person has angel wings on the head. So perhaps you have, even though you have this angelic presence to you, you also have this pleasurable presence to you. There is that duality there, and I feel like you have an angelic presence. You have this presence to you where you either believe in God, or you are religious, or you're spiritual in some way. But there's this energy to you where you're really pure souls, but you're also connected to the energy of pleasure and joy, which makes people fall even more in love with you, because you have good values as a result of that, and because you are someone that shares wisdom with others, because you are someone that is so intuitive. You say the right things to people without even realizing it, and that makes people fall in love with you. So also my palm number 2 is the reason why people fall so in love with you I feel like with these star qualities, because you shine so much, and because you bring so much joy into people's lives, there's this energy to you where the love that people have for you is amplified. Since we have the Lover showing up twice, people fall head over heels in love with you. Not just fall in love with you, they fall head over heels in love with you. Because you have all these beautiful qualities to you. And it's not just one quality, it's many qualities that make you shine. Okay? You're just such an infectious, happy person to be around. People feel happy being around you. People just really feel like they can enjoy your presence. Being around you is pleasurable, even if it's just not like something sensual in some way. Being around you gives people joy and pleasure. And there's this energy to you where people can be your friend, but they can also be your lover, and they can have a friendship with you and have a love connection with you at the same time. And this makes people fall head over heels in love with you because all your qualities shine out so beautifully, and you just make people want to commit to you. Like, I'm gonna get down on my knees and propose to you today. That's the kind of energy I feel. And I also feel like you have been through some things. You're not just a person that's always happy, but I feel like you bring people happiness by just being around them, your presence, okay? I feel like you have transformed from something. You've healed from something that has really hurt you. This is a specific message, but for some of you, I'm feeling it has to do with childhood or actual children. Like, it's a really specific message, but don't take it if it doesn't resonate. Some of you had difficulties in childhood where you just really didn't feel accepted or loved, or like you could really shine in that environment, but after you grew up, you learned to love the beautiful qualities of yourself and leave that part of you behind where you didn't feel accepted or loved, where you could actually be yourself now that you've grown up in some type of way, and love the different parts of yourself and feel confident again in yourself and grow your self-worth. There's this element of soul forgiveness to you. And for some of you, they're showing me children, and the fact of, this is very specific, don't take it if it doesn't resonate. Like, some of you have gone through miscarriages, lost like a baby, lost like a child. So that's a very heavy thing. And that was just a specific message I got. But yeah, like, I feel like you have, regardless of what I said now, but I feel like you've been through some things in your life where you've had to forgive people, and you haven't always been this happy self of you, but you've learned to find the happiness and joy in life after these storms. So yeah, like, even with the rainbows here, and this couple here being part of the LGBTQ community, some of you could literally be part of that, where you didn't feel accepted for that side of you. Since we have a straight couple here, some of you could be bi, is what I'm getting. But if it doesn't resonate, you don't have to take it. But I also feel that energy that some of you have been through things and you've had to find the rainbow after the storm. You've had to find a way to accept yourself and love yourself and heal from that. To find your happy part of yourself again. And not all days may be happy, but there is this presence to you where you also have this really healing energy, and you make people feel like there can be miracles, maybe with the things you've gone through. And perhaps that is the reason why you are so wise with the Hierophant showing up twice. You've learned to find the rainbow again after the storm. And I feel like, with the star coming up, you make people believe in miracles, and that is why people fall in love with you. because they really get inspired by the way you've healed and found your happiness and self-worth and confidence in yourself again after everything you've been through. I'm also getting the energy that some of you really love your body and you're really confident in your body. A lot of sacral chakra, solar plexus chakras energies. With the Emperor showing up here, I feel like not only do you have the star quality and pleasurable energy to you, joyous energy to you, you also know how to really stand in your power. You know how to be organized and really just live a life where you take control of the things you want in life as well. With the Chariot card showing up, you're not just someone that has fun all day, but you know, maybe at work or at school you learn to take charge of your life and to really move forward as a person and organize yourself when it's time for work and really pay attention to the minor details. And that is also another reason people fall in love with you, because you really shine in what you do in terms of career, studying, talents. There's something you really shine at here. And if you don't find this part of you yet, you may find this very soon. By exploring what makes you happy, by exploring what fills your soul up with joy. And you may be good at some things without realizing that other people notice, and that is why people fall in love with you. I mean, even we have these two dogs here that are completely different. So there's this energy of duality to you. You have this happy side to you, but you've also been through some things and have or are learning to forgive what happened to you, maybe forgive parts of yourself, forgive others for the pain you've been through, and find the joy again. You have this energy to you where you're really fun and joyous and pleasurable, but you also know how to work and put your head down and focus. You have this energy to you where you are really wise and intuitive, but like you're pleasurable, but you also have this angelic energy to you, this pure energy to you. So there's a lot of duality here, my pile number twos. And people feel like they get a full, well-rounded person. That is why people fall in love with you. So there are so many reasons why people fall in love with you, my pile number twos. But it's like people just really want to commit to you, like I mentioned. People just really, even if they don't necessarily want love, they just want to commit to you because you are a catch. You are someone that no one can resist. Like, you have all the qualities anyone could want in a partner. And that is the reason why people fall in love with you. You shine brightly, you spread joy like rainbows everywhere. You're very wise and intuitive. You are a very loving person with the Lovers showing up twice. You know your own worth. You are confident in yourself. You found self-worth, or you are building that in yourself. And that is why people fall in love with you. You're really pleasurable and joyful to be around. You shine brightly, if I mentioned that. You're intuitive. You're organized. You're wise. Powerful. Okay, my pile number two. So that is the reason why people fall in love with you. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. One last thing I'd like to say, thank you for all the support you've given me on my channel these last few months. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi there, my pile number threes. If you chose this Carnelian crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what makes people fall in love with you. So please be aware this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And let's get started with your reading. So you started this, you chose the card Yemaya. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yemaya. I think it's Yemaya, but I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. Yeah, let's go ahead and add your cards for you. Okay, the first card we have here is Empathetic Starseed, Energetic Sovereignty, Absorbing What's Not Yours. Next we have the High Priestess, next we have the Ace of Pentacles, next we have the King of Swords, next we have the Fool card, next we have the Seven of Wands, next we have the Tower card, we have the Ace of Wands, and lastly we have the Four of Wands. Okay, my pile number 3s, now that we have your cards laid out, I see exactly why people fall in love with you. Okay, so firstly I want to talk about the card Yemaya here. You know, this goddess is a ocean goddess, and she originates from Yoruba, Nigeria, and also is said to be from Cuban and Brazilian, like some parts of Cuba and Brasilia. So I feel here like the energies of like oceanic energies, a lot of nurturing energies, since we see she's pregnant here. So a lot of you, my pile number 3s, you bring in this energy where you really make people fall in love with you because you have this oceanic essence to you. Oceanic could represent you being really empathetic, as we see here, really connected to your emotions, really connected to your intuition, as we see here in the High Priestess. You really connected to that healing side of you, that healing energy side of you, and that is what the ocean represents. Or you could just have this look to you that looks oceanic in some type of way, or maybe blues look really good on you and people just associate you with the sea, like maybe some of you wear seashells as necklaces, or like seashells, like anything to do with the ocean. Like maybe some of you study the ocean and its sea creatures, like that kind of energy. You have this oceanic presence to you, but you also have this nurturing energy, which is why people fall in love with you. It makes people fall in love with you because you are such a nurturing energy that people just feel like they fall in love with you instantly. So she also controls the ocean, and she's known to be having a lot of cleansing energies. So I feel like for you, my pile number 3s, you have this cleansing energy to you. Even in this card, she's underwater. So you have this cleansing, healing energy to you, which is why people fall in love with you. It's just like people meet you and you cleanse them of their sorrows. You cleanse them of whatever is making them feel down, whatever has hurt them in the past, traumas, pains. You have a really healing energy to you, my pal number 3s, that cleanses people. You're you're natural empaths. Even if you don't believe in empaths, maybe you're just really empathetic and nurturing, and you have a lot of healing and cleansing energy to you, where there's this energy to you where you nurture and you love away the pain in some type of way. Like they're showing me that you kiss the wounds of people and you make them fall in love because they really feel nurtured around you, and they really feel like they can release what isn't serving them. And I just feel like you bring a lot of healing energy to people, but it's not like people use you for that, but rather they feel appreciative of it. Like you bring out people's emotions that they were once too scared to feel. And she's also pregnant in this card. So I'm also like reading here in the guidebook and online because I want to make sure I'm getting all the information right. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I do want to be respectful. But she has this energy, this motherly energy to her, this goddess. And it says here the amniotic fluid that nurtures us before we know ourselves. So it's like you nurture people before they even know themselves. And you can see the deepest parts of people. It's like you maybe also mirror to people the deepest parts of themselves that they should love, the deepest parts of themselves that are in pain, and you bring that out in them without them even knowing it themselves. It's like you see the deepest parts of someone's soul and can recognize those things that maybe they need to heal. Because you are really intuitive and really empathic, I feel like you really connect to people on a deep emotional level, and that is why people fall in love with you, because you are a nurturer, because you are so intuitive that you're just able to read people like a book. We see that here. Hearing that song, like, I think it's the lines like, read you like a book, something like that. Forgot what it was called, but I just heard that as I said that. So you have this energy to you where you get to see the deepest parts of people and just know the parts of them instantly without even realizing it or without even trying to. It just comes naturally to you. And I feel like sometimes my pile number 3s, since the High Priestess is opposite the Seven of Wands, maybe some part of you doesn't enjoy this. Maybe some part of you doesn't always enjoy being able to see the deepest parts, the traumas, the unhealed versions of people in people, because it can be exhausting. So I want you to know this is a blessing. This is not a curse. And you know, I feel like some of you, a lot of you actually, have found ways to discern and protect your energy with the King of Swords, and to know when it's the right time to bring those guiding, healing messages to people, or to... Maybe some of you could be actually healers or intuitive people. Like actually tarot readers, things like that, or healers. But I feel like there's some energy to you where you've learned to discern whether your energy can actually give that, with the Ace of Wands opposite the King of Swords. If you know your energy isn't in a good way that day, then you protect your energy and you aren't that nurturing to people, or you set boundaries. It's like you have learned to differentiate between that nurturing energy and that stern energy, and a little bit of distance and boundaries and speaking up for yourself. So I think that is a really good trait to have, because I think, like, I watched a YouTube video on her by Black Witch Yaya, and it was something along the lines of she was created by another male deity, I think, or water spirit, something along those lines. And he basically needed I think he couldn't produce children, and he needed someone to cleanse the ocean, is what I remember from that. And, you know, towards the end of the video, she said that if some people connect more to that feminine side of her, where they are really nurturing, empathetic, and they are overly like that, they can sometimes become too much in that energy where they actually let people walk all over them and become too overgiving. You know what I mean, my pal number threes, and become overly empathetic where it actually hurts them. And when some people become too much in this masculine energy of rigidness, like boundaries, strong boundaries, it can also become too much. So I feel like you already have that natural balance of empatheticness, healing energy, intuitive energy, that feminine energy, but you also have a balance of the masculine energy of boundaries, of speaking up for yourself, of standing up for yourself, and almost like knowing your limits, or keeping a certain, not wall up, but boundary up, like this is my bubble, this is my space kind of energy. And I think that is another reason why people fall in love with you, because they don't feel like you are just someone they can walk all over. You are someone that's really empathetic, kind, nurturing, but you also have boundaries to you. You also stick up for yourself. And that is where the balance comes in. And that is how you balance this energy out, by knowing yourself and knowing which days you are able to give and which days you have to sit back and receive, okay? So, you know, in that video, I also watched that she helped a lot with like slavery. She basically was like very motherly, very strongly protective, cared deeply for her human children, and she basically came with people on the boats, on the ships like that, to those places when colonization was taking place, and she was helping a lot with those things. She was protecting her children a lot and cleansing them of sorrow, comforting them. So, you know, you have this energy as well to you. If I had to take it in context with this reading, another reason people fall in love with you is because you're really protective of the people you love. Some of you may actually have children, or you could just give off that energy that you'd be a good mother. You have this mama bear energy to you, where you really look out for the people closest to you, and that's another reason why people fall so in love with you. It's like people feel like you'd be, with the Four of Wands can also represent marriage. People feel like you'd be marriage material. People feel like you'd be wifey, husband material, but not just that, you'd also be mother, father material, where you'd be very nurturing to your child. And when people meet you, they see that quality in you and they fall in love with you because they feel like they can actually rely on you. You can actually be there as someone to get married to, someone to have kids with. And that's the energy I feel why people fall in love with you. People don't just fall in love with you to date you. People fall in love with you where they want to actually get married, have kids, have a serious connection like that, even if it's not necessarily human babies, you know, pet fur babies here as well, okay? So she's also said to cure infertility in women, and cowrie shells represent her wealth. So yeah, the healing energy is coming up again. So you may have a lot of healing energy. You may also have a lot of sacral chakra energy, which is the energy of sensuality, the womb space for my women. Not all women have wombs, I'm aware of that. But perhaps you have this energy of this nurturing sensuality, like where people feel like you're deeply pleasurable to be around. You're really confident in yourself. You really have this seductive quality to you, but you also have this motherly energy to you, or fatherly energy to you. And it's like people want to have pleasure with you with the Four of Wands. People find you really seductive, but it's not like they just want to spend a night with you. Because even here with the Ace of Wands, you're really sexy, you're really attractive, my pile number threes. There's this quality to you. You're really radiant. You feel like a fruit, a delicious fruit I'm biting into. That's how your energy feels. You feel like a delicious cocktail that I'm sipping on. You feel like I'm out on the beach and there's a sunset here and I'm just having so much fun. You have that pleasurable energy to you, like my pile number twos. So if you were drawn to pile number 2, you can also watch that. But I feel like this energy is its own energy as well. Like, you are really sexy and seductive, but it's also like people have that instant respect to you, because the Ace of Wands is opposite the King of Swords. So, you know, you are really sexy and really seductive, but people just don't want to feel like they just are having a night with you. They want to be respectful towards you and actually get to know you before they do that. Something about your intellectualism, your knowledge is also really sexy. What is that thing called when people feel attracted to people's mental state, people's brains? So it's called sapiosexuality. So you bring that out in people, where people don't just look at your looks, they also look at your personality and your mind. She's even holding a book here. So you may be very smart, you may be very knowledgeable, where people naturally feel attracted to and they fall in love with your knowledge, how smart you are, your brain, your mind. It's like people want to analyze and get to know you on that kind of level before they do that. And you naturally have this energy of like, I'm sexy, you can look but don't touch. You know, that kind of energy. Don't touch what you can't afford. You have this really high class, respectable energy. Like, don't F with me, don't disrespect me. And, you know, like I said, going back to that pleasurable energy, you feel like I'm on a cruise for the day and I'm sipping a cocktail, or I'm just like laughing. Like, here she's laughing, the dolphins are playing. You have this really playful energy. It feels like I'm laughing on a hot summer day and I'm eating ice cream. It feels like I'm listening to music and everything's vibrant. That's how your energy feels, my pile number threes. And I'm using those examples to explain the energies. You have a lot of orange energy to you, sacral chakra energy. So you just have this vibrant energy to you. And I'm also picking up that you glow, like your skin glows. You look very radiant, and that is why people fall in love with you, because they just feel like you're such a pleasure to be around, like you're such a joy to be around, you're so playful to be around. Even the Four of Wands here represents the energies of celebration. You're just so fun to be around. You're very playful. You may make people laugh, or you may have a beautiful laugh. You may have a beautiful smile. Your playful energy may be beautiful, that it makes people fall in love with you. But you're also really smart, where people fall in love with that intelligence of yours, my pile number threes. I feel like you, my pile number threes, are someone that connects deeply to the moon, to the intuition, with the High Priestess. Like, you're very intuitive, and that's another reason people fall in love with you. You're very empathic, very healing, and you may mirror to people. How do I put this in words? You may not mirror to people the best qualities of themselves, but you may show people and bring out the best qualities of others. And that is another reason why people fall in love with you, because you are so loving and nurturing. It's like you bring out the best version of people. just like imagine this kind of energy. So imagine a mother that is a really bad mother. She's not going to bring out the best energy in her child. Of course, people aren't your children, but I'm just trying to explain the energy. But imagine a mother that really nurtures her kids. Her kids are really going to be naturally good. She doesn't even need to do much. You get what I mean? So there's this energy of you bring out the best qualities in people. Since you are so loving and nurturing, but you also have this firm boundaries with you, you bring out the best versions of people where you don't allow them to disrespect you, but you also show them the best qualities of themselves. You may be someone that compliments people or brings out the confidence of others and makes them aware of the parts of them that shine out and are also beautiful and should be celebrated. And that is another reason why people fall in love with you, because you know, you're not just confident in yourself, but you also bring out confidence in others. You bring out this happy, radiant energy in others. I feel like if I had to have you as a friend, I'd love to have you as a friend, because I just feel like I can glow and shine next to you and you'd hype me up. You give off that kind of energy, my pile number 3s, where you not only shine and look good, but you make other people shine and feel good too, okay? You know, my pile number 3s, I feel like you've had both moments of tears of joy and sorrow. And you naturally bring that out in people, but also yourself, because you have such healing energies. But all your emotions on a spectrum are valid, and I feel like some of you with the Tower card have been through some things here where, like, as much as you're nurturing, sometimes you feel like you can't let people in, because, you know, that's not really a bad thing to have, but sometimes it's like you push people away in the beginning while you naturally feel them out and get to know them and feel their energy. You don't just open up to people fast. But that is another reason why people fall in love with you. It's like they don't see this trauma or this pain yet. But when you push them away at first, sometimes it actually makes them fall even more in love with you, where you think it's going to push them away, but it actually has that opposite effect where people feel like you're playing hard to get when you're not really. Maybe, you know, sometimes when we have trust issues or we have been hurt before, we first want to feel people out and get to know them on an intellectual level before we open up and trust them with the deepest parts of ourselves, the most celebrated parts of ourselves, because people can really hurt us in some way, you know, and it's okay to have this quality. It's okay to have this protective quality to you, but know to open up little by little each day with the people that really fall in love with these qualities of you and make you feel good and make you feel like celebrated for these qualities and treat you good, okay? And you can open up to them slowly but surely each day as you get to know them. But I want to say, don't push away love completely, okay, my pal number 3s, because you also deserve to receive love. I mean, like, I feel like you are givers, naturally givers at heart. You're naturally really giving people, naturally really nurturing people, but you also deserve to receive that nurturing love from others. So be open to receiving that as well, my pal number 3s. And it's like people want to give that to you. People want to celebrate with you. People want to have fun with you. And I'm feeling like people don't just fall in love with you on a romantic level. People also fall in love with you on a friendship level. Like, you are just a celebration to be around. You're so fun to be around. You have this magnetic essence to you. You just have this charm to you. You naturally shine out like the sun. Your smile, your laughter, your playfulness, the way you dance when you go out, like, it's just like people love to be around you. People fall in love with you, not just on a romantic level, but also on a friendship level. And like I said, you're very intelligent. People fall in love with that. People fall in love with the fact that you have been wounded, but you don't hurt others the same way. You've chosen to take that wound and turn yourself into a wounded healer, where you now kiss the wounds of others instead of hurt them even more. Okay, so that is another reason why people fall in love with you, because you just have this vibrant essence to you, but you also are naturally caring and empathetic, and you don't take out your pain onto others. You actually kiss their wounds for them and make them feel. Give them that healing that maybe you never received and you wanted from others, but know that you're also like worthy of receiving here with the Four of Wands. And with the Fool card, I feel like people just love to be around you. People fall in love with you naturally because you're someone that's very fun, very adventurous. You love to try new things. Maybe you love to travel. Maybe you just have this free energy to you. And it's like people just love to do new things with you. People love to get to know you when they first meet you. People love to try new restaurants with you. People love to visit new places with you. There's just this essence to you, like you're just really fun and a celebration to be around, and that is why people fall in love with you. And with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm noticing the lady's nails here. Some of you really love to do your nails. Some of you have really beautiful hands. Some of you have really beautiful bodies, like I mentioned, where people just, if you're a woman, people just want to put a baby in you. And if you're a man, you have the sensuality to you where people get excited. Okay. And sometimes I think people try to hide the attraction they have to you with the mask here, with the Tower, or how fast they fall in love with you, because look how this person's falling from the Tower. They try to hide it physically, but they also try to give to you and really make you feel loved, my pile number 3s. And there's not necessarily one reason why people fall in love with you. It's all these reasons. You are such a beautiful soul, a beautiful, vibrant, healing, loving soul, my pile number 3s, but also really fun and playful, and you have a lot of knowledge to you. You have a lot of wisdom in you. You're really intuitive. You're really grounded as well. Not just empathetic, but you're also really grounded. You make people feel safe. You make people feel loved. You are really sexy. You are really intelligent, and people love just being around you. Okay, my pile number 3s. So that is why people fall in love with you. Those are the reasons why people fall in love with you. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. One last note, I thank all of you, my beautiful subscribers, for all the support you've given me over the last few months, and I really, really, really appreciate it. I just wanted to show my love and thanks for this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!